Hey there, welcome to WTMK Live, your holistic health and unconventional foodie destination. And today you can see I am not in my kitchen. Today I am coming to you live from the Adventist Community Services Center in Lawrence, New Jersey. And I am here with my dear friend Eileen Gill and Julia, how do you see it? Krug. And you can see them there. And we are busy making cookies to put into some Christmas bags that we are making up for the families that the Adventist Community Services Center is providing for the families that we food pantry each month. So that's pretty exciting. So I'm excited to be here. But today we're going to talk about 5 tips that are going to reduce your stress and increase your joy this holiday season. And it all is like centered around gifts. So if that is something that is of interest to you, then this is absolutely the show for you. And if you know anybody else that is looking to reduce their stress this holiday season, make sure you share this video with them as well. And also make sure that you say hello as you're hopping on in here, because you know, I love to say hello, and unfortunately, like, my laptop is way far away from me, so I'm not going to be able to see your comments so much. You know what? Let me, I can do that. You get my phone. Ha ha. Boom. And so I'll be able to see the comments and respond to you. So let me just pull up, and we'll do that. Doing today? I missed you. I think, yeah, I missed you last week, didn't I? I can't remember. I think I missed you last week. So, yep, here we are. Hey, Ellen, welcome in, sweet girl. Let me turn the volume down. Okay, so tip number 1, and if some of you would be so kind as to type in the tips as we go along, that would be awesome. So tip number 1 is to volunteer. Because volunteering, you can give of your time, doesn't cost any money whatsoever. And there are so many ways that you can volunteer to provide increased joy to others, as well as increasing your own joy. And that would be, here's just a few ideas. And if you guys come up with something that I haven't thought about, make sure you put it in the comments and share it with everyone, because, you know, I don't know everything for sure. But here's the ones that we came up with today. To volunteer at a homeless shelter or a women's shelter. A soup kitchen, how about that? Or if your church has a, you know, community services food pantry, volunteer, get involved, help out with that. Just like I'm doing today, I'm making cookies to provide to all the families that we serve from the food kitchen, or from the food pantry. Here's another one. How about being a driver and deliver Toys for Tots? From what I understand, they're always looking for help as far as delivering those toys. So those are just a few of the ideas that we came up with. You know, we were just, as we're working along here making, we're making 400 dozen cookies. So that's a lot of cookies. So that's tip number 1 is to volunteer. Tip number 2 is visiting. You know, a lot of times the holidays, a lot of people are sad and lonely because they don't have family with them anymore, or their family lives really far away, or they're having some kind of a, you know, some kind of a problem, and they're not close with their families anymore. Well, that makes the holiday season, it can be very lonely, and it can be very depressing. So visit, get involved. If you are religious, go to your church, get involved. There is so much healing and so much joy to be had from becoming involved in a community. So even if the visiting is just right around the holidays, think about this. How about nursing homes where, you know, sometimes elderly parents are dumped in a nursing home and they're left there. They don't have anybody that visits them. So they would love to have someone come and visit them at holidays. So think about that. That's a great one. Also, hospitals, same scenario. There's a lot of people in the hospital who are there all by themselves. They have no one to visit them, no one to cheer them up. You can find out from the hospital, you know, who those people are. Go visit some people in the hospital and give them some joy. Here's another one that's a great idea. How about going to a veterans hospital or some kind of a care facility where there's veterans? Because sometimes veterans don't have anybody there to give them joy and comfort and companionship throughout the holidays either. So tip number 2 is visiting. Tip number 3 is to donate. Now, I'm not talking about, you know, emptying your bank account and giving away all of your money. That's not what this is all about. You know, Christmas is about celebrating the birth of Jesus. And Jesus was loving and giving, but he didn't give money. He gave of himself. He gave of his heart, of his love, his caring and compassion. That's what we need to do to emulate, to bring more joy to the Christmas season. By giving joy to others, it will be returned unto us as well. So that's another great way for you to have joy through the holiday season and have your joy increased. So tip number 3 is to donate. So let's talk about donation. We talked at the beginning about volunteering and going to homeless shelters or women's shelters. Well, guess what? You could take a trip to the dollar store, and even for $5, you could pick up some socks. How about toothbrushes? How about some toothpaste? You know, super cheap things like that would be so appreciated by those people. And you could go there, and for almost no money at all, you would greatly increase their joy, and it would also increase your joy as well. So tip number 3 is donate. Tip number 4. Now, here's one that's kind of way out in left field, and I thought of this one. I was like, oh, man, this is amazingly good. Tip number 4 is, how about helping out at an animal shelter? You know, there's a lot of animals that are in the animal shelter, and sometimes they just need a foster home for a few days or a few weeks. You could help out at an animal shelter. So if you are someone who has trouble, you know, interacting with other people, go and volunteer, help out at an animal shelter. You know, they are always looking for donations of used towels and blankets. You could go and pick up some bags of food, or, you know, anything, little treats for the dogs and cats at the animal shelter. They would love that. At the same time, you'd be able to go and interact with the animals, and that is also very healing to you as well. So here's just another way to reduce your stress, because it's been a scientifically proven fact that when you spend time with animals, it reduces your stress. So you will be reducing your stress and increasing your joy at the very same time. So tip number 4 is to help out at an animal shelter. How awesome is that? So tip number 5 is to help out people in your neighborhood. There's, you know, probably plenty of people in your neighborhood who are elderly or who are sick or hurt in some way, and they can't get out to go do their shopping. You can drive them to go shopping. Sometimes they don't have a vehicle. Or how about if they to decorate their homes for the holidays, wrap presents, you know, all those kinds of things. You know, those things don't cost money. They just cost you your time. And think about how wonderful it would be to be able to do those things and increase the joy of others and increase your own joy, and at the same time. So those are the 5 tips. So we'll go over them once again just so you know. And so tip number 1 is to volunteer. Tip number 2 is to visit other people that are lonely and alone throughout the holidays. Tip number 3 is to donate. Tip number 4 is to help out at an animal shelter. And tip number 5 is to look around in your very own neighborhood for people who are elderly or hurt or sick and just need a little bit of a helping hand. shovel some snow, or anything like that that you can do that will help out some other people in your neighborhood. So those are 5 tips, and I want you guys to all have a super amazing holiday season. And because the holiday season is such a special time, and I'm going to give you a bonus tip, and tip number 6 is to love your family. If you have family that's near you, embrace them. Tell them how much you love them. It's the most important part of the holiday season, aside from the fact that we are celebrating the birth of Jesus, and all that means, is to be spending time, quality time, with our own family and friends. It's not about how much you give or get, it's how much you associate and share your love and your compassion and your friendship. So those are my tips with my bonus tip for today. I hope you guys are having an amazing Thursday. I gotta get back to making cookies. And I will see you guys right back here next Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Until then, here's to your health. Bye-bye.